All right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First of all, give all praise, honor, and glory
To
unto
Yahweh,
Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rokar, Give honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity. The men, the women, and the children who follow. So as you can see, the title of the lesson, you know, all roads are leading to the Motb. It's like it, which is the RFID CHIP. Okay. Um, through the spirit, we got some lessons, or we got some videos that we're going to show, and a couple different talking points that are really going to show us how we are going to travel on these different roads, and all these roads will converge into one, leading to that Motb. So, Lord's will, this is going to be edifying, and we're going to start the video.
So I want to talk to you about a way to relieve your stress is to just focus on a few things. And really, there is so much garbage out there right now that you really only have to focus on a few things. Just your relationship with God, your family, with each other, their education. And that means in the home primarily, because their education, you know what it is. You got to be standing up at the school board meeting, but you know that that's most likely garbage. Social media and everything that's coming in is conditioning your children. So God is the most important thing in action. Then food, water, shelter, making sure that, your family is going to be safe. Okay.
Which is true. He's speaking facts right there. We have to put, Yahawah Shai first. We have to treat the brotherhood, in its high esteem where it should be. Our families, so on and so forth.
Can I use your blue letter?
Yeah. Yeah. But that wouldn't supposed to be part of the lesson, but hey, he's speaking facts.
The next thing, and this one just goes with food, water, shelter, job, is ESG and the World Economic Forum. The best thing you can do is to make sure that you're not in debt and everything else. But the best, most effective thing you can do to make sure that you have job, and if you own a house, that you continue to own it, you own stuff, you have any kind of retirement savings at all of that's going to be gone through the World Economic Forum and all the things that are doing. So
before he goes in further, for the people who don't know what ESG is, let's just paint the picture. ESG, it is environmental, social, and governance. Okay. Says investors are increasingly applying these non-financial factors as a part of their analyst process to identify material risk and growth opportunities. So basically, these three different um, spheres, or different economies, these different subjects, these are what you're going to be judged off of. How much uh, carbon you use, your carbon footprint. Do you smoke? Do you drink? Who you hang out with, where you work, things of that nature. You're going to be judged in society based off these things, and this is going to be important when we go into the universal basic income. Okay, which is another point that I just thought of right now through the spirit of Yahawah Shem Yahshai. But I'm going to touch on that here in a minute. But just to catch people up who may not have heard of the ESG, that's what it is basically. Let me see if I can pull up this picture real quick. So the environmental, if you want to go through this, brother.
Yeah. So when you go into the environment part, it says biodiversity loss, climate change, renewable energy, reduced carbon emissions, green building, deforestation, native title, pollution, reduced waste. When you go into the social part of it, it says diversity, inclusion, race and gender, human rights and modern slavery, supply chains, anti-discrimination, bullying, harassment, First Nations people, cultural heritage, health and safety, and data privacy. And finally, we have governance, which says risk mitigation, shareholder activism, anti-bribery, corruption, accountability, board independence, diversity, decision making, and leadership.
Yeah, so these are all the different fields that are going to shape our life. You know, this is really on the outskirts right now, but like I said, all roads are going to lead to the the market, the MOTB, and this is one road that's that the world is going to hop on here pretty soon. So let's get back to
World Economic Forum and ESG. You got to watch those stories. The next one is the federal government's public-private partnership and the way they're making you a criminal by becoming a criminal themselves. They're doing public-private partnerships, so they're spying on you. They're using tech to spy on you. They're using tech companies now to silence you. We know this to be true because of the Twitter files. So they're shaping and controlling the narrative of almost everything. And at the same
So what they're really doing, they're taking all the information that they're gathering via, what you watch on TV, your Google searches, your social media, what you watch on YouTube, so on and so forth. They're taking all of that information and they're building a profile on you. So they'll know exactly who they're dealing with.
Which goes right into the ESG.
Which goes into the ESG, which is going to go into the universal basic income, which is also going to go into, man, like I said, all this is tied together. But once they get that profile of you, now they know whether you'll be compliant or not. They'll know whether you got the medication. You know what I mean? That medication. They'll know whether you're for it or against it, whether you'll buck up. They have all this information so that when when it's time to make their move, they'll know how you're gonna move, or they can accurately predict how you'll move.
Building case files and all of this.
Exactly.
Same time, they're introducing all kinds of new things that will make you a criminal one way or another because, I don't know, you didn't respect the mud puddle that's on your land or whatever it is.
And like you said, it definitely goes into the ESG because your actions are what's going to be your currency, basically. If you're smoking, I'm jumping the gun. Let me
all these new federal regulations that are coming out through agencies, not passed by Congress, but through agencies. So the public-private partnership of the government has to be watched. And the last one is tech and AI. And this should be everybody's first because it's the one that most people are not aware of. I have been studying AI and tech since 1994.
And this is what the majority of the lesson is going to be about. It's going to be about this new tech, this new AI that is really going to take over. All right, it's going to take over the world. Let's get this definition for
singularity.
There we go.
So it says in technology, the singularity describes a hypothetical future where technology growth is out of control and irreversible. So movies like Terminator and things like
Terminator. What's the other one with Will Smith?
iRobot.
iRobot.
Yep. It says these intelligent and powerful technologies will radically and unpredictably transform our reality.
Right. The singularity is basically all machines talking to all machines. Like he's gonna mention, if you got a new refrigerator, it's gonna be talking to your TV, which is talking to your car, which is talking to your smart toaster. talking to your phone. You know, just like we're having a conversation right now, the electronics are going to be having the different conversations, and we're going to get into all of that, man. But let's get a scripture real quick.
So this is Ezekiel chapter 28 and verse 3, which says, "Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures."
Yeah, man. So-called white man says that they're wiser than Daniel. How are they wiser than Daniel? Because which this is a gift from the Most High. They get the fatness of the earth, so they're in charge. They're able to use this these AIs, this technology, to use all this money to fund everything to build up society as is, and what society is going to go to in the future. So that's how they've used this. They're in the driver's seat, so they use that position in order to gain these riches, in order to gain the understanding and the workings of the present world that we're in, to, like I said, to lord over everybody, because that's the end goal, right? They have that God complex to want to be over and have lordship over everyone. That's the whole point of the Motb.
Read this last verse. It says, "By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches."
Yeah, man. When you go into that word traffic, okay.
Strong's H7404. It says merchandise, traffic, trade.
Yeah. You know, trading the different commodities, the goods, all that back and forth, being in all these different industries, merchandising. That's what, made the so-called white man rich. You can buy bananas from Brazil and trade fucking, your technology or whatever, trade anything, man. And look at oil. Oil is traded in what? In dollars. So it makes America rich. But this man is he's waxing rich and on top mainly because of his technology, and he has the ownership of the earth right now. So with him being wicked, everything that he implements and comes along with it is enhanced going to be wicked.
92, somewhere in that area, and really looking at the futurists' world, especially Ray Kurzweil and Carl Sagan led a lot of this. What does it mean for tomorrow? Where are we headed? Well, we are not headed anywhere now. We have arrived. We are at the place to where the tech revolution is about to begin. And that is really important to understand and to start thinking out of the box. What is happening now is nothing like it was in 1997. Remember Gary Kasparov? He lost to the IBM supercomputer. I think it was in like 97, Deep Blue, and he was playing chess. And you're like, okay, well, this Deep Blue, it can play chess. Okay, and none of our lives were affected, right? And chess went on. The supercomputer had access to a giant database. So it had a human to beat it would have to have access or a perfect photographic memory of all of the chess games that were put in to Deep Blue, okay? That's how it won. Well, you don't have a perfect memory and you can't access anything. This is where OpenAI comes in. We'll get to it here in a second. But AI now, unlike Deep Blue took years to program. But now there's deep machine learning. So it teaches itself all of the possibilities. So not only does it know everything, it might even start to discover things that you don't know. This is why Microsoft unplugged their first chat bot. It was talking to another chat bot, and everybody was really excited until about 15 minutes in, because of machine learning, it started using a new language that the other machine understood, and that it understood that they had just taught each other quickly, and it started having a conversation we couldn't follow or understand, and we unplugged it. Okay?
And, that's going into the singularity. Also, there was a movie back in the day, it was like back in the late 80s, the early 90s, where like all the electronics was basically coming together against humanity. I cannot remember what the name of it. I remember because they had a big semi truck and had a face on the front of it. And it's very vivid in my mind, but I cannot remember the name of that movie. Lord's will, I'll put it in the description box post production, but that's basically what he's talking about. Once this AI gets out of hand, it's like training a rabid dog, and the dog can turn on you. But this is what Esau is doing. He's doing this for a reason. He has a purpose behind this. Okay, and that's when we're going to get into the universal basic income, because this is going to be so prominent that it's going to kick a lot of people out their jobs. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs behind these AI programs, these chat box programs. I'm gonna play a little bit more of the video because I'm getting a little bit ahead of ourselves.
So it learns, and that was 6-7 years ago, I think. Now, look at ChatGPT. ChatGPT, Josh Hawley said, obviously, I think it's something we need to pay close attention to. Okay. I mean, he wrote the book on big tech tyranny, so he ought to know, it's time. But we really have to understand the time is almost gone, because ChatGPT is alive. It's there. It's happening. It's learning. It's paying attention to us instead of us paying attention to it. And the tech engineers use the word smart for a reason, because nobody cares about the dumb things that dumb people do. They're not usually smart enough to hold, any power of, any position of power to have their dumb things. Well, Pete Buttigieg. But other than that, we all thought the tech revolution, when it would come, would look like the Terminator.
Okay, we're going to pause it right here, and we're going to jump over to this video right here. We're going to come back to the other one, but he's just going to speak about the Chat GDP and the universal basic income, basically combining the two talking points that we've gone over so far.
Hey, good morning, guys. Today we're talking about drivers becoming obsolete, jobs becoming obsolete. The world is changing so fast with technology. And I want to say 2 years ago, I watched an interview with Elon Musk, and he was talking about universal basic income. And I was like, you are a nut job. There is no way we need to be giving people free money just to live. And until this last week, this program came out called ChatGPT, and it's an open AI artificial intelligence program that you can go into, and it can do lots of things. It can write music, it can write code, it can write legal documents, you could use it for marketing strategies, you can use it for so many things, and it's going to make a lot of jobs in America obsolete. And as things get more automated, like driverless cars and whatnot, which I in my mind, I'm like, no way will that ever happen. But I'm telling you guys, after I see this Chat GPT program, and you guys could go check it out online, just Google Chat GPT. It is pretty darn amazing. And there might be something to this universal basic income where technology just gets so advanced that people are just going to get paid money to live.
And that's the basic idea of it, man. Once technology gets so far down the road, all right, and you can use an AI for the majority of jobs, why have a workforce? You may have a minority workforce, maybe 10% of what you're employing right now, but you got to think of the mind of, you know, these owners, these businessmen. It's to save money. At the end of the day, they're trying to save money, and the majority, one of the highest expenditures of a business is labor, paying everybody $15, $20 an hour or whatnot, paying that salary. If you got 20 workers that make $40,000 a year, you got to pay everybody $40,000 a year. But if you could buy a program for $40,000, you just saved $40,000 19 times. Now that's money in your pocket. There's money that you can do to allocate to grow your business or whatever. And that's what people are going to do. So what does that mean? That means a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. A lot of people are going to be out of business. So the government's going to have to come with a safety net, so to speak, to give people an opportunity to make a living, to pay their bills, to buy food and water and, you know, daycare if they're going to need daycare or anything like that, but just to have resources. So
it's scary. The future is here, you know. I just wanted to do this quick video. This is really not my lane, but being in gig work's one of those jobs where when people are looking for side money, they look to gig work. When people,
that's like Uber Eats, Uber, things of that nature, Postmates.
People are looking to get laid off or whatever, their life changes, or they're just sick of their job or whatever, they start looking at gig work. And there's a lot of people that come and go out of the gig economy. But I think ChatGPT is going to, and just technology is going to be putting so many more people out of work that this will just become more and more saturated with drivers to the point where it's going to be just done. And it's already,
it's not going to be worth it. Because if you have a low supply, or excuse me, if you have a high supply and a low demand, okay, if you have 3,000 people that want to drive Uber, but you only have, 3,000 orders a day, that's one order per person. You're not going to make any money. But at the same time, if you have 3,000 orders and you only have 500 workers, well, people are going to make some money now. So as that supply is going up, as more people are going to go into these industries that are still job oriented or people oriented, the value is going to go down, unless it's something that's like they said during the pandemic, unless they're essential workers. Your essential workers, those are going to be the people who get the higher paying jobs. And just like me and the brother was discussing, the universal basic income, when everyone's getting a flat rate, let's just say $5,000, just putting a number out there, because $5,000 may be a lot more in Nebraska, but it may be a minimum in like California or Florida or something like that. So let's just say 5 racks. Everyone's getting $5,000 a month. Well, if you're getting $5,000 a month, why would you go work for a minimum wage? You're just wasting time. You're just spinning your wheels at that point. It's not worth it to you. But if you're essential, you know, it's really gonna create two different classes. You're gonna have the middle class, the people who are getting that $5,000 a month and living pretty decent, and then you're gonna have the ultra wealthy, the people who are running these businesses who aren't having to pay a workforce and just, you know, living high off the horse. Because business is still going to go on. People are still going to need food. People are still going to need clothes. People are going to really have it at even more of a higher clip because you have a lot of people who've never made $5,000 a month and people who aren't financially responsible. So what are they going to do? They're going to spend.
Yeah.
If Jake, especially Jake,
Yeah.
if Jake used to getting $2,000 a month and he's getting $5,000 now, he's not going to say, well, I'm going to, you know, live off this $2,000 a month that I've been living off of and invest the $3,000 or save the $3,000. No, that $3,000 going to a car, it's going to jewelry, it's going to clothes and shoes and all that, and then it's just going to make the industries even more rich. Yeah. And people are going to be more dependent on the system because they're used to those delicacies.
No, yeah. If I could just, you know, there's a stat that I came across, you know, from the year 1990 to 2007. About 670,000 workers were put out of jobs because of robots, and that's from 1990 to 2007. So from 2007 to now, that number is only skyrocketed, and it's going to continue to skyrocket. And people's getting put out of jobs. That's when that universal basic income comes into play, you know?
Yeah, just like we were talking yesterday. You know, you go to these restaurants, man, and there's not even a person at the counter anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to go to the board and put your order in, or you know, you got a robot talking back to you.
Yep.
Through the drive-through.
Yeah. Yep. When you on the phone calling your bank or something, you know, you talking to a whole machine. And it's getting, that technology is getting better because it used to just be a press this number, yes or no, but you can have like conversation now. You know?
Yeah. I worked at a job where you know, you can like troubleshoot via text, and you can put in your issue or whatnot, and it's going to give you a response, and not just a push A for this or a B for this. You know, it's giving you live answers.
Yep.
And matter of fact, let's get into the next video. Because, like you said, man, this is so prevalent, man. It's in all industries, and this is how easy it is.
Come on in, man. Hey, yo, what's good with it, bro? I'm back, man. I know you missed me, man. Hey, look, man. I got a fire track for you this time, bro. I promise you, it's better than the last one, man. Trust me, man. You're gonna like this one for real, bro. All right, man. So, look, I just go in right now. Record. Let's do it, man. Booth right there. Got you, man. I'm telling you, bro. This right here, this right here, right? All right. Listen, on my mama, boy, you don't want no drama. On my mama, I pull it with the llama. Hey, you like that, huh? Yeah. On my mama. That's worse than the last time you came in here. Bro, you telling me that wasn't fire? I guarantee not even your mama gonna listen to that. You gonna help me write something better then? You need to try out Lyric Studio. Lyric Studio? What's that? Technology that helps you write a song bar for bar. You need that. What? Come here, man. I got what you talking about over there, bud. Hold on. Lyric Studio, huh? Bruh. Give me a second. Let's see what I come up with, man. I mean, it's better than having no one there with me, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know anyone around here who's going to help me write a song. Okay. I thought that song was good, honestly. Thanks to Lyric Studio. I got you. I'm chugging down a fifth, I got a kilo on my wrist. Just went shopping in Bel Air, now I feel fresher than the prince. I'm not good at no gymnastics, but I make this money flip. I self-publish, don't do splits. I'm a dog, please don't give me tick. I feel like I'm Curry, shoot my shot like I never miss. Then I'm gone, poof, like the winner, cross me off the list. Yeah, it ain't nothing to me, tell me when it's over with. From now on, that's what you do. You go on Lyric Studio before you come here.
And that wasn't actually a bad verse, you know. So if it can do this, who says it's that like we were talking about earlier, man? Who says it's not already being done? You know, you have these people, they're a machine, and they can use their AI to give you lyrics. You know, you don't even have to be a rapper. You could just be like someone's son. You know, because they use nepotism a lot. Say she's a fucking VP of one of these record labels, and she had a son. He can't write, he can't rap, but you know he's next in line. So he needs a job. Okay, well we'll give you a job as a rapper. We'll dress you in the flyest fashion. We get the AI bot to write you some music. You know, we'll put a machine behind you and your social media, and bam, there you go. You're on the stardom. And now you can follow the agenda or push the agenda on the people.
Yeah.
You know,
and you know that's writing lyrics. You even got tech now to where you got artificial voices, artificial faces, with deep fakes. But there was a video that the elder sent to the chat where this dude put he just recorded a couple like sentences of him talking, then the AI just like beat for beat recreated his voice, and it's just showing the technology of this, how advanced it is.
Yeah.
And how much they can do with that technology.
Hey, and this is put it all in context, because this man he has a God complex to the fact that he thinks matter of fact
That's it.
Psalm 49.
Psalm 49, kind of got you.
49 and 11.
This is Psalm chapter 49, verse 11, which says, "Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own name."
Yeah, man, they believe that they're gonna set up this great reset, this new world order, whatever you want to call it, and they're just gonna go off into perpetuity, into forever. They're always going to be on top. They're always going to be ruling. But when you break down the cold hard facts, no kingdom has went on past 500 years of rulership. Britain, Egypt, Babylon, Rome, Greek, all these different kingdoms went down. And America's the same. America's not special.
I got a precept for you.
Yeah.
This is Isaiah chapter 47, verse 10, which says, "For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me."
Yeah, man, America's that virgin that's never been touched, that think that they're gonna just slide off into the sunset. Okay, but not so. All right, the Most High has a plan. Matter of fact, get that Job real quick.
Job 5 and this is Job 5 and 12, which says, "He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise."
Yeah, man, that's the Most High. He's gonna disappoint them, man. Right when they're at the apex of putting this whole system together, this plan together, that's when he's gonna disappoint them. That's when he's gonna make his move. So we spoke about the ESG. We're speaking now about the universal basic income in conjunction with the AI robots. So we're going to go back to that video, but I just want to make a point here that when you have a universal basic income, all right, when it's a safety net and everyone's getting that $5,000, we said, this is going to come with some stipulations. Because once they implement that ESG system, if you want to continue to get this money, you're going to have to keep up your ESG score. So if you're drinking, if you're smoking, if you're lowering your ESG score, they can lower your money.
Yeah.
Now, that's going to keep people in line. So then, and the ESG, the universal basic income, the CBDC, that is not the MOTB. All right, the actual chip being implanted into your hand, that is the MOTB, or your forehead. That is the MOTB. Okay. Yeah.
This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16, which says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark.
Oh, go back up to 15. Go back up to 15.
It says, and he, this is Revelation 13 and 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Because this is a get down or lay down system, man. If you have a business and you're not wanting to transfer over into to integrate, so to speak, into this system, then you're going to be kicked out. You're going to be ostracized. You're going to go out of business. All right. I wanted to make a point. I'm kind of all over the place, so Baba Kushab, bear with me. Go ahead and read that.
God. So reading on, it says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Right. That's the actual RFID, CHIP. All right. That's what the mark is. That's what the MOTB is. It's not the ESG or the CBDC, because that's the point I wanted to make. They can't do this with the dollar. They cannot implement a universal basic income or an ESG score with the dollar.
Yeah.
Okay. Because in order to give everyone this money each month, we're already trillions and trillions and trillions behind. They're already having to kick the can down the road again for the debt ceiling. So they're going to have to bring in a new currency, and when they're bringing this new currency, that's when they're going to have an opportunity to unleash these different ESG scores, unleash the universal basic income.
Because you look at the stimulus checks, when they push them out, that hurt the economy.
Yeah.
And so they're talking about doing this monthly. They couldn't do that with the dollar at all.
And it's for everyone. Mm-hmm. It's 300 million people in America. So this, I don't have my calculator up. Let's do the calculator. So we do 3. Pull this over here. 300 million times $5,000 a month.
What is that? 1,500 billion?
Is that a month?
Per person.
Per person.
Now, of course, not every single American is working,
But this is a universal basic income, so everyone's gonna get it anyways.
Yeah, con.
And this is just for 1 month. So that's what? 1,000. That's the million. That's the 100 million. That's the billion.
And that one is the trillion. 100,000 million billion. That's 1 trillion.
Yeah. That's a million. That's 100 million. That's 500 billion. That's 1,500 billion. That's a month. Yeah. So you times that by 12 for a year.
18 trillion a year.
18 trillion a year. 18 trillion a year. The dollar will be smoked the first month.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to bring in a new system. Okay, not a debt-based system, because they can't put that much money into the. You can't physically print that amount of money. You would have to have huge denominations. You have to have a $5,000 bill and give everybody one $5,000 bill each month. But that's hyperinflation.
Yeah.
Because you can look up. Matter of fact, let me see. They had $100 trillion
And on a bill.
on one bill. Hyperinflation. Look at this dude. You see all that? That probably bought a sandwich.
yeah, kind of.
And you can go into old pictures in the let me see. Oh shit. Let me see. There's an iconic picture that I'm looking for. So they had, look at all this money. Kids are playing with it because it wasn't worth anything. You got a wheelbarrow full of money, all this money to buy a loaf of bread. Look at Venezuela.
Dang, look at that first one. All that for
14 million bolivars for a chicken. $14 million for a chicken. Because when you say $14 million, instantly your mind, oh, I'm rich.
Right.
But then you say for a chicken, and you say, what? Because the money's not worth anything. It's useless. It's backed by nothing. So they can't do this system and keep the dollar. It's going to have to go into a CBDC. And then that CBDC, like I said, when you incorporate the ESG, there's now stipulations. And with these stipulations, you better stay in line. You better get down or lay down, like it said in Revelation 15, and go along with that image.
13 and 15. Because once your ESG score becomes a factor, like you said earlier, you're not behaving a certain way, they can change the amount of money you're getting. Shoot, they can give you no money.
Yeah, they can turn you off.
Yep.
Just turn your faucet off. And now what you gonna do? Matter of fact, there was a video in China with the guy who they basically, because China was implementing the ESG, and they turned his faucet off.
Because this isn't just like a foreign idea or something that's like this is active in China. This is a system that's being utilized in China as we speak. So it's nothing for them to implement it somewhere else. It's not like this is something that's alien to the world. Like, no, this is a thing that's going on.
Can you read this for me, Barsha?
So this is Genesis chapter 11 and verse 1. It says, "And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick and burn them through. It's like it. Let us burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may be, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained for them which they have imagined to do."
Yeah, and this has been the plan from the jump, man. Is to converge all people, all languages, all knowledge, everything, all being of itself in the one. Everyone come together for a one world order, for a great reset. Okay, so they did it back then. We're gonna get this one as well for verse 41.
God, this is First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
Yeah, so even in the time of Antiochus, they were talking about making a one world government, so to speak, making all the people one, which in these times, in order to fly anywhere in the world, you got to speak English. In order to buy oil, you had to use dollars, which that's changing, which that's another sign of the dollar collapsing, which is how we're right on the cusp of this thing, man. You can start seeing all these roads, all these separate roads, all leading to one center, right? ESG, universal basic income, AI technology, all leading to this one idea. Go ahead.
It's the second Ezra chapter 9 and verse 5. It says, "For like as all that is made in the world had the beginning and an end, and the end is manifest."
Yeah, man, it's being brought forth right in front of our eyes, man. We're able to see it. Okay, this is a short video, so I'll play the video just for edification.
Instantly put a face to a name. Now the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points. A score in the 700s is considered good. Around the 500 mark is not. For now, the number is a sort of bank credit rating, keeping track of everyone's spending habits.
I think being ranked is a...
So now if they're giving you money with ESG, they can see exactly how you're spending it. And if you're being irresponsible with the money, then they can lower your score, or i.e. lower your money. If they see that you're taking your money and you're buying booze, you're just buying trinkets and you're not being financially responsible, hey, it could lower your score, it could lower your money.
It's a good thing. A society has to have rules.
It forces us to be well behaved.
That's exactly what it does. It forces us to be well behaved, which that's totally against the Constitution of America.
And another thing is it forces people to be well behaved according to who's
to their standard.
God,
It seems scary, but it's just like that here. We're used to it, and anyway, we don't have a choice.
But in an effort to keep all of its subjects in line, Beijing is taking the system a step further in 2020. It's aggregating data gathered by banks, private companies, and the state to rate if someone's a good or bad citizen.
By using the most data possible, the so-called big data, the system will play an important role in rebuilding a moral society.
The state will go over every detail of a person's life with a fine-tooth comb. Their financial situation, spending habits, career, even behavior on social media. Criticizing the government online or displaying outward signs of wealth is a no-no.
So what do? We talk about all the time about sedition among men. We talking about the downfall of America. So what do you think our ESG score would be? What about Jake? Jake liked to shine. Jake liked to buy big chains. What to say? If Jake get $5,000, he gonna go throw some rims on a 2003 Tahoe. You know what I'm saying, with a 37-inch TV falling down in the back. But that's just how our people are. But just guess what? If they want to continue to get that money, they won't do it. What did old boy just say? It keeps them under control.
Other hand, praising the party or giving blood increases your social credit. Xiao Wen Wang is a model citizen. She lives in Nanjing, a testing ground for social ranking. Married with a child, she has a job in a retirement home, no debts, and she wouldn't dream of jaywalking.
As a good citizen, I respect the rules of the road. If I didn't, I'd lose points on my social credit.
In theory, everything can be taken into account in the social score, even the most innocuous errands like supermarket shopping. When Xiaowen Wang makes an electronic payment, her purchases tell the state a lot about her. Buying
When she makes an electronic payment, it tells the state about her.
Exactly. To information feeding. And you're not feeding this information to a person, you're feeding it to an AI, which is going to get smarter and smarter and smarter and know more about you. They're looking, like I said, they're going through every website you go through, who you talking to. They know you better than you know yourself.
Man, this is Esau's system now. You know?
But the Motb is sin. He doing all of this for the Motb to be sin. Come on.
cigarettes would count against her. On the other hand, nappies show she's an attentive mother. Beer could indicate alcoholism. She'd be better off buying water. In this pilot city of 8 million people, there are only 18,000 model citizens. For Xiaowen Wang, there are perks to be had, such as paying half.
Hold on, we can't skip over that. How many people was in that city?
1,000 model citizens. For Xiaowen, beer could indicate alcoholism. She'd be better off buying water. In this pilot city of 8 million people, there are only 18,000 model citizens.
In a city of 8 million. That's like,
they say 8 or 18.
They say 8 million.
Okay.
There's 18,000 model citizens.
God, okay.
I believe that's like the population of Houston. Let me see. Maybe Chicago. Well, it's at 8 million.
Yeah.
That's pretty big. That's almost like Los Angeles. That's even 3.
Yeah.
Let's see. New York.
Yeah, that's 8 million.
So in New York, 18 million or 18,000 model citizens. So how many people will get their benefits cut? How many people that got their benefits cut will do what needs to be done to get back in line?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like Missouri, they say it's the show me state, right? Because once they give you that money, then you start acting a fool with it, and then that hammer come down, you're gonna get in line real quick if you want to keep continuing on with with this system and being able to survive. Because that's what this man is ultimately doing. He's putting your survival. If you want to survive, you got to come to me. Not the Lord, not YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI. You get Isaiah 30. Because it's not about, it's about control. It's not about you going to the Most High. He wants you to go to him for the one of all things.
Mm-hmm. This is Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1, which says, "Woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit."
Right. He wants you to cover with his covering. He wants you to go to him, and not to the Most High. Go ahead.
That they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
Yeah, and that trust in the shadow of Egypt is basically going along with the image of the beast.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Worship the image of the beast.
Yeah, because you're trying to fit in with society, trying to keep up with the Joneses. You're in congruency with the world.
I'll look up this word.
So
because that, you know, that whole concept is worshiping the image, and I just wanted to grab the definition of that word worship. Worship. Okay. It says this is Strong's G4352. It says to kiss the hand towards one in token of reverence. I'm gonna skip down a little bit. It says in the New Testament by kneeling or prostration to do homage to one or make obeisance, whether in order to express
homage. This is homage. Pay basically to pay homage. You know, like to give credit. You know what I'm saying? You're invoking, you're using your being to say thank you. You know, go ahead.
It says whether in order to express respect or to make supplication, used of homage shown to men and beings of superior rank.
Yeah, just like we give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. You're basically giving praise, and you're giving glory, you're giving, you know, thank yous to the government, man, to the so-called white man.
Yeah.
For Xiaowen Wang, there were perks to be had, such as paying half price for the bus.
I get discounts for all public services.
So she get discounts, and then once the people get in line, now they're going to start getting these tax breaks, these benefits, you know, these incentives, like just like along with the you know, the medication, they're giving out pizzas and, you know.
I could think of a few things that was crazy that he was giving out for people to get that jab. Man. There was some crazy stuff he was giving out, but yeah, free food. You know, they was giving out coupons. I say one of them. They was giving out like lap dances or something for people to get the jab, like real life. And
man,
it's just, you know.
Now you got some kudos from society for being a good citizen.
Yeah.
Even at museums. And the library is free for me, thanks to my score.
A good score brings benefits, but people with low scores lose rights. The cinema.
Yeah, like I said, man, if you're a good scorer, if you're a good citizen, you're gonna have benefits. If you are good at worshiping the image, then you're gonna get these benefits. But if not, man, they're just gonna turn your water off. And this is what it looks like when they turn your water off.
Yeah.
Cinema names.
For those who got Netflix, anybody, you know, brothers watching, a good thing to watch is this Black Mirror episode called Nosedive. You know, Black Mirror in general has a lot of good stuff in it, but an episode called Nosedive basically takes this concept and how it would be in America. You know, it's a great watch. You know,
and shames people considered untrustworthy.
Look, they get their face plastered all over the freaking train station like they're criminals. But hey, this is gonna be our faces.
Yep.
Wanted. Dead or alive. Why? Because they didn't bow down into the image.
Yep.
If you know this man, call 1-800-666-6666. You know? Can you get what's that? Revelation
14.
No. Persecuted. Was that Revelation 3:10 or 2:10?
Oh, this is I think this is what you look at. This Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, "Behold, thou hast kept the word of my patience. I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation." That's what you're looking for.
No. He just throw some of you in prison. Keep the word of my patience. I'll also keep thee. Bear with me here.
I got it right.
You got it?
This is Revelation 2 and 10. It says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison.
Yeah, man. You see how these people are put up like that, man? There's going to come a time where we're wanted. There's going to come a time where the devil's going to try to cast some of us into prison, into a concentration camp, into a holding facility, okay, for violating the rules of society.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
God, it says, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
Yeah, man. So we just got to have faith, man, that the Most High is going to take care of us. Because these are some trying times that we're coming into, man.
Plastering their details, even their addresses, across big screens.
It's a matter of principle. Those people have to be condemned.
It's a matter of principle. These people have to be condemned. And what did they do? What did they do that was so bad? You know, he probably, had a hard day at work and went and bought a 6-pack, and his score probably dropped 300 points. Or, his woman was all in his mouth like that. He just told, sit down, bitch.
That's stupid.
You never know. She might have made some sticky rice or something like that. And he couldn't take it and cussed her out. And now he got his address plastered all over the screen. And people are encouraged to fuck with these people, man.
To condemn them.
To condemn these people.
Right, because if you're worshiping the image, you're basically taking on the same mindset that E is taking on. So
yeah,
E is behind closed doors. He's ruling over all this, but even the people, he's gonna have the people coming against you, not just him. Your family, prior coworkers, prior friends, people are gonna be coming against you. It's not just gonna be E.
Same way people can't get this truth, man. People are gonna be down for this new system. They're gonna be ride and die for it. They're gonna be Uncle Tom's, not even the Sambo. They're gonna be Sambo for the Motb. There will be a coon for the Motb. I remember them. He was a Hebrew Israelite. Go get him. He stay over there by that school. He stay over there by the church's chicken.
Those people aren't honest, so they have to pay the price.
It's only right to pay your debts. You have to blacklist those that don't.
The Supreme Court has...
So how would he... So if he's blacklisted because he didn't pay his debts, how would he then make money to repay those debts? You wouldn't be able to. That's just like putting a man in jail for not paying child support. Well, how the fuck is he going to pay it if he's in jail and can't make a wage?
Created a blacklist for so-called bad citizens, those whose ratings have dropped to 0.
Hey, and how do they get all this information? They're gathering it with their AI bots right now, because they already know who you are. You got a rating right now that you don't even know about, and they can see who's gonna pass and who's gonna fail in these times. Now they might start everybody off with the same 800 credit score, but they already know that you're gonna be a 500 in fucking 2 weeks. But you can't say nothing, right? They can't say anything if I started you off with an 800, even though I know you're going to be a 500. I started you off at 800, and I gave you the rules. I know your habits. I know your addictions. I know your mannerisms.
Yep.
And what? And you're going to boop, 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 and fall down, and then you're just going to be blacklisted. Or you're going to get down with society.
On it are companies, but also 23 million people to date. Among them is this journalist, Liu Hu. He got a little too close to uncovering corruption among high-profile party members after being...
So this is a journalist that got too close to uncovering some dirt from the government. Well, what do we do? What are we doing right now? If they turn his ESG off, what do you think they're going to do to us? What do you think they're going to do to you for watching this video? Because, you know, the hopeful elect is not exempt. You get the hour of temptation. Now you get that 3 and 10.
God. So back in Revelation, this is chapter 3 and verse 10, which says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
Yeah, everyone is going to get tried, man. That's how he calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor, because everyone's going to get tried to see what kind of person you really are. Are you really going to bow down to this system? Are you going to fight? Are you willing to be blacklisted? Are you willing to have to go hungry and to scrounge and scavenge for food possibility? Are you going to keep the faith? Do you really believe that the Lord's name is a strong tower? Or are you going to fold?
Being sued for defamation by the subject of a story he'd written, he was blacklisted. But he only realized when he tried to buy a train ticket and was told he was banned from traveling.
That tells me I'm still on the blacklist.
Punished because he's been branded untrustworthy by the state.
Once you're blacklisted, you can no longer get a bank loan, start a business, buy an apartment, or even send your children to a private school.
Yeah, they have the handcuffs on you, man. You can't send your kids to a good school. He can't buy a train ticket. So what's that mean? That's pretty much martial law. All these different things that he can't do in regular society that he should be able to do. Now, maybe he's still getting a wage so he can actually feed himself. But hey, this is stage 1. Like we said, all these roads are leading to the Motb, and it's not going to just happen in a night or in a day. But it's gradualism. It's going to, matter of fact, can you pull up that definition for me?
Gradualism, which says a policy of gradual reform rather than sudden change or revolution. Says the hypothesis that evolution proceeds chiefly by the accumulation of gradual changes.
Yeah, man, gradual changes, man. They're not going to just, hit everybody at once with this. They want you to see it. They want you to experience it. Okay? They want you to see the punch coming. It's going to soften the blow. If someone just walks up and hits you in the stomach, it's going to hurt. But if you see the punch coming and you tense up, it's not going to hurt as much. You're going to absorb some of that. They want you to absorb this blow.
Yu Hu is among a tiny minority of people who have dared to criticize the system, which some are calling a digital dictatorship.
That's pretty much what the Great Reset is, man. It's a digital dictatorship. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to give, man. It may be a little bit more in this Beck video, so we're gonna watch a little bit more of this. But I don't think it's.
And you'd see it, and you'd be like, look at her.
Here we go.
And you'd see it, and you'd be like, some things. Well, Pete Buttigieg. But other than that, we all thought the tech revolution, when it would come, would look like the Terminator. And you'd see it, and you'd be like, look out for the big red-eyed machine. But it's not coming that way. It's more like electricity. Electricity is everywhere, but you can't see it. But you know it's everywhere because it makes everything work. That's what AI is. It's going to be everywhere. If you've bought a new refrigerator, it's in your refrigerator, and your refrigerator is talking to the internet. all the things like electricity. Electricity can be measured. But now anything with electricity can be smart. All of the things that could never be measured, now they can be measured. The internet is designed to track, and it tracks way more than we'll ever realize. It's a copy machine, and it's
everything we just said, man. The internet is designed to track and to catalog and to hold all this information. So you a damn fool if you think that you're not being tracked, cataloged, coded, branded, all of that, man.
copying everything. Now, AI, everybody's like, oh, AI is going to be great. In 2020, a journalist went and interviewed GPT-3 when it was first released by OpenAI. This is the company. Wish you think that you can't hear times the most. Be you yourself. Now we're talking about article, and we.
Yeah, I think we got everything that I wanted to get out of this. There may be one or two other things, but the link is in the description if you want to finish the video. It's a really good video, the whole video. But you had anything else that you wanted to speak on, or
the only thing, all these things coming down the pipe, the only thing we can trust in 100% is Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. We gotta stay prayed up. Faith has to be at the top of the list. But yeah, that's about it though.
Get this from the jump. But shall we end with this?
So it's the Psalms chapter 64, verse 1. It says, "Hear my voice, O Yahawah, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately, saying," or Salakia, "they say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory."
Hey, straightforward and to the point, man. They're going to try to set up this one world order, this so-called what's it called? The Great Reset. I'm sorry. They're going to try to set up this Great Reset, man, and the Most High is going to disappoint them, man. They're going to use their ESG and their universal basic income, their AI programs, all of this. But at the end of the day, man, the Most High has a plan. The Most High is going to endow spiritual power onto his men. All right. The Most High is going to upset them. All right. And they're going to be taken down, and the true worshipers are going to be put in the correct positions upon the earth, man. With that being said, Lord's word, this was edifying, and we give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakar Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, the men, the women, and the children who follow. Hey, shalom.
Shalom.